All right, guys. Cody Williams was awesome for the Utah Jazz. It's another Las Vegas Summer League recap. Let's get into it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys, let's just talk about Cody Williams and Isaiah Collier tonight. The Utah Jazz did not play all of their guys, and so we don't have a ton to talk about, but we do got to talk about Cody Williams and Isaiah Collier. Before that, let's talk a little bit about the Wizards. Not much to say about them either. We didn't get to see Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George, Bub Carrington did not play. But we did get to watch A.J. Johnson, who was an absolute steal for them from the Bucks. A.J. Johnson tonight, 10 for 16 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3. That's crazy. And then 3 for 5 from the free throw line. 25 points, guys, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and they got him for next to nothing. Only 3 turnovers as well. What's up, Blake? What's up, Fidel? It was a fun one, and I'm happy for Wizards fans. They're going to be a really kind of fun team to watch. They're not going to win a lot of games, a lot like the Utah Jazz, although, this Wizards team, what's the starting lineup? I guess it's Trey Johnson, Keyshawn George, Bub Carrington, Sar, and then it starts getting a little slim after there. I can't remember their acquisitions, so Wizards fans, yell at me in the comments. Go ahead. I deserve it. But I am excited to watch Trey Johnson on the Wizards. I thought I was pretty high on him. The only thing is the defense. Can he play good defense for this Wizards team this upcoming season? I know they have some old vets on that team. I can't remember if they're still there that they traded for. Anyways, this is not about the Wizards. This is about the Utah Jazz. Zach, man, you guys, I opened up the comments. They're coming in quick. I might not always be able to see all of them. But if you do a super chat, I will definitely do that. All right, so Cody Williams tonight. Let's talk about first Isaiah Collier, though. Elijah Harkless, I don't have a lot to say. I do not feel as though he has earned his way to the starting lineup. But we do got to talk about Elijah Harkless compared to Collier and Cody Williams. Elijah Harkless, who I believe played a good amount for the Stars last season, 2-way contract. I can't remember exactly, but he was connected to the Jazz last year and now is playing with them, obviously, in the Summer League. We'll see how much he's on this team or plays with this team this upcoming year. But Elijah Harkless goes 4 for 14 from the field and 2 for 7 from 3. He does play super hard on defense, and I root for all Jazz players. I root for them all. You would hope that one of these guys figures things out. It's kind of like the Thunder with Lou Dort. You never know when there's that guy from Summer League that just figures it out and becomes a core piece of your team, like Lou Dort and Isaiah Joe for the Thunder. It's not really happening for Elijah Harkless, but that's why when I talk about, we'll talk about Elijah Harkless in a second. Let's talk about Isaiah Collier. Better game today. It's been a weird kind of roller coaster of a summer league for Isaiah Collier. The numbers have not been very good shooting-wise, which you hoped for, but it has not been great. Tonight was better, though. 7 for 17 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. He was 1 for 4 from the free throw line. 17 points and 3 assists, 2 steals for Collier. It's a fine performance, but, it's Summer League, and I guess it's better tonight than it was last game. I just have not been super impressed by Collier. We have not seen the shooting really come around. Doesn't mean that he won't. Doesn't mean you give up on Collier. I think you obviously have his rookie contract you're going to play out, and you will see for where things go next year. But I will say that I don't have a ton of hope for the shooting with him, just the way the shot looks. Now, he did hit 2 for 6 from 3 tonight. The form at times looks good to me. I think he's a little limited in how his form is. But, you never say never. He could learn how to shoot a little bit. One of the players that I always kind of think of with players like Collier, who's a good passer, really physically gifted, was Jason Kidd. Remember, for those who watched Jason Kidd, he wasn't the greatest three-point shooter, but he did kind of figure it out enough. When he goes to Dallas, he figures out how to shoot it. But even without the three-point shooting, Jason Kidd was awesome. He was awesome. And then he goes to Dallas and he kind of reinvents himself a little bit. So I don't know. I'm not saying Isaiah Collier's Jason Kidd because Jason Kidd's a Hall of Famer, but I do bring up someone like that as someone who kind of figured out how to shoot the ball a little bit better and kind of transformed their game to make sure they could both shoot the ball and still do the things that they really did. And Nathan Baxter, like you say, I really appreciate his hustle. Yeah, the hustle is good. He's super fast, super strong. The other thing I appreciate about Collier is he has got that kind of nasty in him on the floor. He will not back down from anybody. We've seen him get into multiple scuffles, and there's value in that. Having your team have an edge and a toughness to it is important. You don't want to be the team that gets pushed over by those other teams with those strong players. So I don't have a lot else to say for Isaiah Collier. He's just a player that we're going to watch, and you hope that he can just continue to improve because he's just coming into his second year. It's not like you have to have a definitive answer on what he is, but I have a little bit of concern with the shooting. But doesn't mean he can't improve. All right, let's talk about Cody Williams. Guys, I'm pretty darn excited from Cody Williams. Ben's Hoops had a good tweet tonight, just kind of compiling his statistics, and I appreciated it because it's hard to compile all the Summer League statistics out there. During the season is much easier, but tonight, Cody Williams, 23 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. By the way, the last 2 games, Cody had 3 steals. Tonight, 2. If he gets consistent minutes, he's like a 2.5 steals per game guy. Really great. What else? Let's see here. I want to just grab Cody Williams. This is from Ben's Hoops. Cody Williams through 4 Summer League games. I think this is obviously Las Vegas. 19 points in 4 games, 4.2 rebounds, 2.7 assists, and 2.2 steals. The 2.2 steals is, I think, a big deal and a real indicator of what he can be. The stocks are important. I don't think he had any blocked shots. I don't know if he's a big blocked shot guy, but he does get his hands on he just gets a lot of deflections, I would say. He's got a wingspan. It's good sized. He's got pretty good size and length, and he moves pretty quick. And so I talked about this last year. I know that the offensive numbers were terrible. They were bad. There's just no arguing it. They were terrible. But he was a little undersized. He did look just small and timid, and a lot of it felt like confidence issues. It's looking better. He's looking aggressive, but what's really nice is that he is driving to the basket. It's going well when he does. Tonight, 9 for 16 from the field. That's really nice. 56% from the field is great. His finishing at the rim is improving, and we'll see if that can carry over into the regular season. The other thing that's got to improve is the three-point shooting, but I tell you what, it is really nice to see that improvement, and he's been better than Isaiah Collier. Did anyone expect that? And I told you I'd bring it back up, but, would anyone have been surprised if Cody Williams was putting up Elijah Harkless numbers? We can talk about, and I talked about in the SLC Dunk recap that I wrote before this. You definitely should take these games with a grain of salt, but maybe not too much. I mean, shouldn't you be doing well? If you're not doing well in Summer League, then that says a lot. And Cody Williams he is performing well. I don't think anyone would have been surprised if Cody Williams had like 4 for 14 from the field like Elijah Harkless based off of his numbers last season. But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing good numbers from Cody Williams. He's improved, and that's all you can ask for. I don't think it's not realistic to expect these players to make just an incredible jump year after year. But what you do hope is that they make incremental jumps every single season, and that's what we're seeing with Cody Williams. From year 1 to year 2, we're seeing some improvement. He's driving to the basket, cutting to the basket. He's scoring at the rim. He's doing little floaters, kind of like a pull-up game from the free throw line. It's looking more and more confident and nice. The three-point shot's not there yet. That is obviously the next step for him. Maybe we see that this year, or maybe we see that next year. You hope so, because if Cody Williams doing what he does on defense with the 2 steals, the deflections, he can fit in on a team that has a defensive mindset. You know, in a lot of ways, Utah is trying to build towards what the Thunder, it's what every team's trying to do. You're trying to build towards what the Thunder created with their team, and it's defense first. It's not offense, it's defense. Every single player on the Thunder is a defensive plus player, you know, whether it's, and they make sure they draft that way. You know, they draft Case and Wallace. They're drafting Chet Holmgren. They're drafting guys that are long and athletic. They make sure and they give a contract to Lou Dort. Every player on that team defends. And then on the offensive end, they are an efficient offensive player. Cody Williams can do that. If Cody Williams figures out the 3-point shot, and I think he can, because it looks, the reason why, and we talked about this on the live stream, I've probably mentioned this multiple times. I can't remember what I say night after night sometimes. But the reason I have a little more belief in Cody Williams improving as a jump shooter over Isaiah Collier is we saw some good shooting from Cody Williams in college, for one. And two, when you look at Cody Williams' form, it's not necessarily the form. The form needs to improve. There's a little bit of hitchiness to it, and it needs to be smoothed out. But what I really like is that he has really good balance, and you can see that he creates good balance. And that's a good sign to me that he can improve as a jump shooter if he keeps working on it. So we'll see. And Nathan Baxter, you mentioned Cody Williams was changing his jump shot this offseason. That may be. What I like is that when you look at the form, he looks balanced to me. And balance is just a huge part of that. It's what makes Donovan Mitchell such a great shooter, especially on catch and shoots. He's just really, really got great footwork and balance. It's that balance that helps him shoot the ball very, very similar every single time. He's also got just great form. And if Cody can just figure out that form, find that balance, build that strength and endurance and everything so that, you know, he's shooting it and he's not exhausted, then that's great. And I think he can become, it's not very hard to see Cody Williams becoming a successful rotation player because we know he can defend. We know he's long. We know he moves. We know he's a smart player. If he shoots the ball well and he's driving to the basket like he's doing, he becomes a pretty compelling player. I don't know if he's ever going to be an all-star. I don't think so. But I do think that he can develop into a rotation player, at the very least a nice player off the bench who your defense doesn't drop when he's on the floor. And if he's shooting it well, then your offense can stay efficient, you know. And who knows, maybe he can improve. I saw Tony Jones tweet that he thinks Cody Williams should start. You know, I think there's an argument there. Bryce Sensabaugh shot the lights out, but does Bryce Sensabaugh bring the defense that Cody Williams does? Bryce Sensabaugh is just going to be a more gifted offensive player. We know that. It's very clear, but he doesn't bring the defense that Cody does, and Cody doesn't turn the ball over like Sensabaugh does. And so there's an argument there. I think Bryce Sensabaugh probably gets the nod. Coaches tend to lean towards the player that gives them the, for sure, offensive output. But like I said, if Cody Williams can figure out the jump shot, then I think there is, I think that's not even that hard of an argument to have Cody Williams on the floor instead of Sensabaugh with the defense. But for now, I think Sensabaugh has the edge because of his shooting and how good his shooting is. It's pretty impressive. Imagine the defensive length of a lineup that has Williams, Hendricks, and Ace all on the court. Yeah. And that's what Utah's trying to build, guys. That is what I like with, you know, Danny Ainge and Justin Zanuck, but also Austin Ainge, is we're seeing a draft philosophy. It's really what you have to have. When you go into these drafts, you have to have a philosophy. You have to have core values of what you take on when you bring on a new player. And what you're bringing on is someone that can defend, has length and size, athleticism, smart players, tough players. And, you know, Cody Williams is going to take some time to develop, but I think it was pretty clear he was going to be a project from day one, and it's okay. It looks like that project is working. There is improvement happening. So, what's the starting lineup for the Jazz? I talked about it during the live stream. By the way, you can watch the live stream and just watch the game with me on my YouTube or on the playback. But I think it's going to be Walter Clayton, Bryce Sensabaugh, Ace Bailey, Lauri Markkanen, Walker Kessler. And that's if they don't make a trade. Let's see. What's your projection of wins this season? Honest take? 24. I don't know. How many games did the Jazz win last year? Utah Jazz basketball reference. 24-25. They won 17 games. You know what? If Lauri Markkanen does not get traded, 22. And I think that would be enough to get make sure they keep their pick. I know there's some people that have been so mad at me and like guys, it's based off of just rumors that are out there and also just the way the team runs and just basic logic. They're like, don't be surprised at Lauri Markkanen trade rumors. They're going to come, and guess what? We're going to talk about them on here. What else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about the latest news of the day. Clayton over Collier. I think Collier needs to lose it first. Are we sure he hasn't? He's shooting like 15% from 3 in Summer League. And not necessarily a very good from the field either. And it's not like Collier is out there. I mean, Collier is a better defender than like Jordan Clarkson and Keontae George, but it hasn't been like much better. And I don't know. Are we sure that Collier's better than Walter Clayton? Because Walter Clayton went in and just kind of was great. I mean, that first game was a little, and he got used to the water, and he was swimming. It sucks that he got that hamstring, but he was looking awesome. It really is annoying how like all our players get hurt. Keontae George that first year, he turned his ankle. He was going to win freaking Summer League MVP. You know, we didn't get to see Walker Kessler in summer. I don't know. Summer League has been a little bit disappointing these last 3 years. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to watch Ace Bailey in Las Vegas, and he has not played. I have been dying to watch him play. I'm so excited to watch Ace Bailey, and we just haven't gotten it. What's up, Landon? Nah, Clayton is... Guys, I don't think people are realizing how good Clayton was. He was really good. Like that last game before he got his hamstring injury, he was... I mean... Let me pull this up. Walter Clayton Jr., Summer League stats. Let's bring this up and just talk about it. But let's see. In Walter Clayton Jr. in his 2 Summer League starts, 20 point. So remember, in Salt Lake City Summer League, he didn't get the start, and Isaiah Collier played. And by the way, speaking of like, has he earned it? Collier did not play well in Salt Lake City Summer League and has been up and down in Las Vegas. He's had his moments. He had that one game where he was like 12 assists, but he was like 4 for 17 from the field. It was not good. I can't remember exactly, but it was something like crazy like that. It's not like he has played like off the charts. I'm just holding why am I holding a lint roller? But then you look at Walter Clayton Jr. in his 2 Summer League starts, 20.5 points, 3.5 rebounds, 3.5 assists, 1 steal, 0.5 blocks, 42, 40, 87 splits. I don't know if that includes the turnovers. That might be the turnovers. He's been awesome. Like, awesome. And there is, like, wide praise going on over Walter Clayton. He looks like the perfect player to play off a superstar. If Ace Bailey hits and Walter Clayton hits and Utah gets that top 3 pick next year, we're set, guys. We're set. If Utah can do that with Lauri Markkanen, then great. I'm just a little worried. So we shall see. But I think the Utah Jazz are in just such incredible... They're on just a great track right now. The Ace Bailey thing has been phenomenal. And I don't know. I personally am super excited. How's that for a Summer League game where the most interesting thing was Cody Williams? 20 minutes on Cody Williams? Holy smokes. Yeah, D. Will Light. I do kind of like the Jamal Murray comp for Clayton. I think that's a pretty interesting one. He's not quite as big as Jamal Murray, a little tiny bit shorter, but he's not that short. He's not so short that it's a huge issue. I think he's just big enough that if you have him at the 1, it's not the end of the world. He's going to be targeted in playoff games. So he has to be a baller on that end. And on defense, he just has to give everything and be a strong in your chest defender. I think he's got that in him to do that. He's that type of guy. So, and I think Keontae George off the bench is a nice piece. What we know about Keontae George is he can come in and just light it up on certain nights, and some nights it's not quite there. And I think if he can just become more efficient, Keontae George is going to be really interesting to watch this season. I'm excited to watch Key, see how he has improved and what he's doing with his game. He's got to defend better. If he does, then why can't Keontae George earn that second, that 2-guard spot? Why not? But he's got to defend to do that. And, he's got to make better decisions with the ball. But he's going into year 3, and there's no reason to think that he can't get better as well. So that's what this season is all about. And that's what every season really is. You're just, who's playing well, they'll get minutes. Who doesn't play well will get less minutes. That's just how it works. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, the support from all the people who subscribe, and also just especially the members for your support is just so, it means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. We had a new starter, Bruce F. Thank you so much, Bruce F., for supporting the channel. It means a lot. It really helps me do this. I mean, I love doing this, but it is a lot. So thank you for your support. I really appreciate it. Let's see. Let's just bring this up. We'll bring up the music. And I don't think I'm doing the Tankathon this year because it's just, it's too much for me. We'll just see how it goes on lottery night. Maybe on special occasions, right? But we'll just do that. So anyways, let's give a shout out to the All-Stars. Thank you so much for your support, All-Stars. Let's give a shout out to Baby Elliot Madsen, Ryan Edward Perry, the legend, Christian House Money to Haas, Robert Hall of Fame, Wham Bam, Cam Bam, thank you, ma'am. There we go. I finally got it right. Cam Bam, thank you, ma'am. Cam Chin 3. I believe in Steve Jazz Exile. See ya, Lexalator. Jordan the Goat Best Roll. Austin R. Grant Editor Extraordinaire. Flippin' the Script. And Patrick Kubo, the Connoisseur. Guys, like always, like the video, subscribe to the channel.